Hello and welcome to another episode of Ways to Better Living. As always, this is your host Coolio, bringing you a brand new topic for this discussion. As the title says, sports or games. In brackets, what is your view? So, if you already got the very first episode of this podcast, as to kicking it off, explains that I'll be touching every areas aspect of where you need to benefit in the great manner in how you see these things. So, yes, one might ask why, what does sport has to do with? Some people might understand, some might not. So, for the ones who do not understand, just pay attention. Now, what is your general view of sports or games? Because each sport is pretty much a game. So, and we know there is a lot of these sports out there. And there are some that some people might not even consider it a sport, but it is a sport. But for the major part of when it comes to sports in general, there is always a prize for the winner, always. So now, in thinking this way, what does it say to someone that's not participating in the sport as to playing or take part in what? Either form of mostly participating as to playing, as to you being a player, a participant to this sport or this game. Now, if you only have to do one thing, just to support. And we see how this changes people. We've seen it even within the family supporting this team, and the other member says, "Oh, I'm on this team," and they bring friction in the family, where no matter how good they always are, but when it comes to time for these sport games, families tend to have a lot of friction. Then some take it to the extreme where speaking with each other becomes difficult. But before we go too deep into that, let's look on the surface of sport. What is your general idea when you hear sports? What do you think of?
That you've done?
It consists of a few things. One, some sports you do have exercise that it brings to your health, where you keep you fit. Other sports is your mind that it keeps engaged. Mostly, even if one with the physical part to got your mind, but not much so as your mind, but the physical. And then you got the one that's more on the mind than the physical. And then you got the other aspect as to just to relax and enjoy yourself, in the sense of having fun and winding down, or some other time you use it as way of bringing people together as to uniting. So these are things that you see in the idea of sports. But then the major parts that been pushed mostly these days is the aspect of challenging one another as to proving who is better. So now with this said, we've known so many people out there that can do so many things better than the ones that they're getting paid a lot for, but are not considered. Why? Especially in the sports field. I'm dealing with the sports field. So, why is that? Because they do not have someone that would say, oh well, or that person might not be someone who is looking into using the ability as to gaining the things that people who go after it to gain as to fame, money, and being competitive to the point where hatred develops. So the ones that see this, that do not push into that aspect, this doesn't mean they are not good at the sports. It just means that they hold the value of what sports is there mainly. In this aspect, what we see in the world today, many things about sports that goes wrong because it becomes competitive. Now it involves what various aspects of businesses that use that competitiveness as in a way for them to. It's a lot of it. Hold on, I'm able to proceed with this. So, in this aspect, what do we see that goes on with sports today? It's pretty much.
Are you ready? Big rich music.
The world will still show you as to something that's good for you to pursue. But when you pursue this, what does it do to you personally? It takes everything that you've known to be you and put that on the back as to you forgetting about you now because you're doing it for as a competition. Now you gotta pretty much become a spy to see how your opponent in how they do or how they set stats that they give you and all these things. But does that mean that at the end of the day, what sport is there for, that brings people together? Does it really bring people together when all these things start getting involved? No, it becomes heated because we already know one thing about money. Where money is involved, love is not there. So that's what we're seeing in the world. Money is involved with sports. So that enjoyment part with the money takes away. The bringing people together, the money takes away. Why? Because now we're not doing sport anymore for the sake of bringing people together or doing it for fun and helping each other out by. We've also seen people do it to raise funds, but even in that raising funds, we see how sometimes it gets out of hand. because people take it too far in this competition. And because of that, what happened? You see that people are separated in the whole field of sports. So now how one should view sports for them not to lose the sense of what sport is there for them to enjoy. Tell you what I want. The fellowship of others, in the sense of we gather together, we play a few games, enjoy ourselves, and know that no matter how you might want to say, oh, I'm the best in it, there's always someone that's better than you. And even that person, there's always someone. So no one can claim that position, that what the world does, which separates. So you view it in that aspect, knowing that we are playing this game, we're enjoying our company, having fun, having laugh, we joke around, and we know there's a lot of sports games. Like I mentioned earlier, there's a lot, so we could use any of these and enjoy your time. So view it in the aspect of it is just a game, that it doesn't have to come to the point where it makes us become enemies or makes us hate each other to the point that we're looking to harm each other. So if you're not in the game, I automatically can move ahead, which you see in the world. It does happen. They don't show you all of these at times, but it does happen. So with this, it builds yourself personally as to how you view. And in this way, how does it help you in the manner of better living? If you go into playing sports with the right frame of mind, what happens? You end up develop in such a way that your way of viewing things in general becomes so vast that you'll be able to look at things and be able to understand fully that about nothing you need to stress over. Not everything is there for you to use and let go of. Sports helps you do that because it's a way of training both your physical and your mental. Remember how I said some more on the mental side aspect, some more on the physical aspect, but at the same time they train both, where they teach you patience, endurance, and what's the last one? Perseverance, which helps you create a determination in you as a person. And this is something that sports teaches. So if you apply it in the sense of applying it into life, then you're able to put everything into perspective where they belong. So if you're wondering how this benefits, then now you see you got the answer. So with that says, this is my time, and I'll have to leave it with you and saying God bless you all, and as always, this is your host Coolio saying all the best. Comes with great care, so that you will show respect.